With me on the Politicrat Daily podcast is Mayor Van Johnson. He is the mayor of Savannah, Georgia. It's an honor to have you on. Thank you for your time, and thank you and welcome to the Politicrat Daily podcast, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate the opportunity of being with you this morning.
Well, I really am honored by your presence, sir, and it's wonderful to have you here. I would love to begin by asking you about Georgia, about Savannah in particular, sir. In terms of the city, for those who aren't aware of Savannah, Georgia, and where it's located, could you please spend a few moments talking about your city? And also, I wanted to follow up by asking you about what's going on with the preparations around coronavirus and how that's going as well, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, first of all, everybody should know about Savannah, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia is the first city in the 13th colony of these United States. We are the first city in Georgia. We're the first capital in Georgia. We were formed on the same day as the state of Georgia. We are strategically and conveniently located right off of the I-95 corridor that runs from Miami to Maine. We are about, for proximity's sake, about 5 minutes from the low country of South Carolina, about 45 minutes from Hilton Head to the north, about 2 hours from Jacksonville to the south, about 2 hours from Columbia, from Charleston to our north. Columbia is about 2.5 hours to our north. Atlanta is about 3.5 to 4 hours to our northwest. So we're right off of the water. We are the largest city on Georgia's coast. We are a city that revels in our history. We are the city that General Sherman gave to as a gift. We are the city of the civil rights movement. We are a city of various history. We are a city of first. We have the oldest African-American congregation in the North America, which is the First African Baptist Church, is here. The third oldest Jewish synagogue, Temple of Mikveh Israel, is here. We are the home of Johnny Mercer. We're the home of the birth home of Juliet Gordon Lowe, who founded the Girl Scouts. We're the home of the movies Glory and Forrest Gump, Gemini Man, The Legend of Bagger Vance, The General's Daughter, The Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, SpongeBob, and Mad Max. And so we are a city that has the second busiest port on the East Coast. We're a city that is a home of the oldest African-American public institution in Georgia, Savannah State University. We're the home of the largest art school in America, the Savannah College of Art and Design. We are the home of the 3rd Infantry Division of our military. I can go on and on and on. We are the home of Paula Deen. We're the home of some of the best food you have ever tasted, and certainly some of the best weather you will ever see. We're a pretty special place.
That's really great, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. And I have to go and visit, first of all, and so
Please.
do, I'm sure, a lot of people who may not have visited. I'm sure there are a few who haven't, but that's a wonderful way to introduce a fine city. So thank you for doing it the way you did it. And also, before I continue, congratulations on being named as one of the 100 most influential Georgians as well. That's a nice honor to have as well.
How did you know about that?
I got to tell you, well, your leadership for one, but number two, you have it proudly displayed and I believe on one of your Twitter accounts, I believe, or the official Twitter account as well.
Yes, I am. It's an honor, not for me personally, as much as it is that it heightens the level of Savannah. For us, it's important that Savannah matters. In Georgia, it's always been this dichotomy that existed that if you did not live within the I-285 belt line, which is really Metro Atlanta, that you did not matter. For us, we believe that the coast matters, Savannah matters. And so the fact that I'm influential in Georgia means that Savannah is influential in Georgia. And that's important to me.
Wonderful. And of course, as well, your father had also been mayor, if I'm not mistaken, for 3 terms. Is that correct? In the
No,
same city? Or am I
no.
Completely getting that wrong?
Yeah. Well, his name is Otis Johnson.
Oh, I'm so
Dr.
sorry.
Otis Johnson. It's fine. He was our 64th mayor. He's not my father, but I'm sure, we have the same last name. So it's probable that we're related somewhere down the road. But no, he was one of my mentors. I consider him a great friend and ally. We got elected to council at the same time in 2004. And so I served with him for 2 years. He was 2 terms. He was the mayor for 8 years. We're term limited here at 2 terms. And now he's helping me on a couple of task force we're doing here. So, no, but thank you for mentioning him.
All right, and I'm sorry about that. I really do apologize. Oh my gosh,
you're the father. You're the father. You're the father.
Okay. The thing, and being from Brooklyn, New York, I mean, how do you, your city, Brooklyn, New York, is a city that's also one of the very big ones in America, as well as Savannah is. It must be quite something. Being from Brooklyn itself and being the mayor of Savannah. Do you get to go back to Brooklyn at all? I mean, you must be very busy, but do you get to travel there? I'm just curious.
I do. My mother, my father, my siblings, my family, my entire nuclear family are still there. My nieces and nephews. So Brooklyn is home for me as well. And so I go as often as I can. Obviously, I could not go as much last year because of COVID, but I remain and maintain close relationships with Brooklyn.
Right. Let me ask you a bit more now about what's happening here. Obviously, we have a pandemic that has touched the lives of so many millions of people around the world, around the country, and around Georgia, and obviously has affected the city of Savannah. Can you talk about what's been going on in terms of plans in Savannah, particularly for vaccination and anything else that you might like to share with the audience, please?
Sure. Well, obviously, I'm very dissatisfied at how Georgia has rolled out its vaccines. I think that Georgia could do better. We have not, in so many ways. We were the last to close. We were the first to open. Georgia still at this date does not have a statewide mask mandate, despite the fact that all of the science points to wearing a mask. Our governor refuses to mandate masks, although he strongly recommends masks. Savannah has the first mask mandate in Georgia. We maintain that to this day. However, the governor says that private businesses can decide for themselves whether they want to have masks or not. Essentially, what happened with the rollout of the vaccine, we knew that we were going to get the vaccine one day. And essentially what has occurred is that it has been overwhelming. We have more people that want it than we have people to administer it, and some type of supply chain problem that the state needs to fix. And so right now we have a lot of people who want the vaccines and not able to get them. They basically crashed our infrastructure, so we had to put a pause on it at least for a month or so. So it's been extremely challenging for us. We can do better. I've offered whatever help we can do. The city we're not over public health, but I said, if I need to get in a van and drive vaccines over myself, if I have to learn how to give vaccines in order to give them, if you need to use our first responders, whatever we need to do to be a help, this is a critical issue of the day of getting needles in arms, and we need to help make that happen. So although I'm dissatisfied to this point about our rollout from a state level, I'm committed to doing what I can to help make it better.
Now, that's really great. And I remember you were one of the foremost leaders out front about all of this when the pandemic was just really taking hold. And I really do appreciate that you did come out very clearly and issue that mask mandate. A lot of people followed thereafter, and you were one of the earliest mayors to do so in the state. So it's really heartening to know that that you are still keeping the governor's feet to the fire because he has not done what he should be doing. And I think the state would, quite frankly, be a lot better off right now had he done something and done it a lot earlier.
Absolutely. And I mean, my goal here is not to be able to point fingers. I mean, obviously, this is all very difficult. We none of us are playing by any rules that we have experienced before. So, I mean, I recognize that and that tremendous job that he has in front of him. That being said, there is science, which is why here in Savannah, we've said that we're going to keep the faith and follow the science. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but we could do what the scientists say to do. And so the fact that the governor has willfully not followed the science in this matter. I mean, at one point, the White House was even saying, wear a mask, wear a mask. The White House was saying this. And yet the governor still said, he was not going to do it. So, I mean, this is the very difficult work and things that are before us. And, I don't know how to handle that, but it is what it is. I think, at this point, we just have to make it better.
Absolutely. A couple more questions
Sure.
to ask you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you again. One of them is about the state overall. Now, we've seen a lot of things happen these last 2-3 months. Joe Biden won the state of Georgia. And also, of course, just a week or two ago,
Say that again.
I was just saying that
Joe Biden won the state of Georgia, right?
Yes.
That means we turned it light blue, right?
Yes.
And then something else happened, right?
It certainly did.
And what was that?
We had two Democrats winning the senator races, Ossoff and Reverend Warnock, both
which meant that we were all the way blue then, right?
That's right.
Wow. Look at God. I'm sorry.
No, that was great. No, that was really great. That's where we are. That is, and of course, it was done also in addition with the hard work of a lot of people on the ground. We know about Stacey Abrams' tireless work and LaTosha Brown's tireless work and a number of other organizations and coalitions that made all of this happen. Can you talk about Georgia, as I call it, sweet Georgia blue?
Well, Georgia's on everybody's mind. I think that what has occurred, and I mean, and again, I don't need to be as partisan in this case as I am. The fact of the matter was that Georgia, in a sea of red states, exercised an independent mind. And let's be very, very clear. Joe Biden would not have won Georgia. Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff would not have won Georgia if Republicans and independents and libertarians did not also vote for them. Democrats cannot do that by themselves. The numbers are just not there. But I think, fortunately, what Georgians did that maybe some folks in other states did not do was to look at the totality of our state and look at the totality of our federal government and to decide that maybe what we're doing is not working well for us. Maybe we should try something different. And essentially, that's what happened. And I want to give President Biden the same benefit that I gave to President Trump. I mean, honestly, I didn't like the fact that he won, but when he won, he was my president. And I prayed for him to do well, because for me to pray for him not to do well is like for me sitting on a plane and praying that the pilot doesn't do well. If the pilot crashes, we all crash. So it was important to me that our country do well. But I think this environment of divisiveness and this culture of hate and fear mongering and gaslighting, people in Georgia really saw that maybe we have an opportunity to give the other guys an opportunity. And again, if they don't do it, then we have the responsibility to vote them out. But to say that things are going okay the way that they were, and then you look at what happened on the 6th of January, and some of them were from Georgia, which was sedition in its highest forms. It was mob rule, something that has never happened in our country when we were under attack from Americans, tells us and really confirms Georgia's independent position that something needed to change.
You mentioned the final thing that I was going to ask you about, so you anticipated me, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
About the terrorist attack on January 6th. Do you have any concerns about tomorrow's inauguration? I must be honest with you. On this podcast, Mr. Mayor, I've expressed a lot of worry. About tomorrow, security-wise. The story that happened in the Associated Press about defense officials worrying about a possible insider attack. So now all of the FBI is vetting all 25,000 National Guards persons. What are your thoughts on all of this, and how are you feeling about tomorrow as we get ready for an historic inauguration of the Vice President, Kamala Harris, who will become the Vice President, and the former Vice President, Joe Biden, who will become the President? What are your thoughts, please, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I mean, I'm concerned as well, but I am confident that that things will be fine. DC is under lockdown. At this moment, I'm supposed to be in DC for the inauguration. Obviously, I didn't go. It wasn't safe to do so, it wasn't safe to travel. And I had to be more focused on ensuring that our city is okay and safe in all of this. So I think we'll be fine. I think cooler heads will prevail. And I think we will be able to, move along in what our new reality is. I hope that we do. I hope that we don't have, we really don't have any choice at this point. We have to do better than what we've been doing. And if, Dr. King, who would have turned 92 on Friday, said that, that evil prevails when good men say nothing. And so I believe that the good guys outweigh the bad guys. I believe that there are more people on all sides that are more interested in our form of government, our republic, and moving forward. And, I've been heartened to see individuals across the aisle saying, you know what, this was wrong. We have to do better. And, as though I've been a critic of Mitch McConnell, I was pleased that, he seemed to have, he's moving towards, moving toward a way that is much more sensible.
Absolutely. And of course, there's a small matter of a Senate impeachment trial that's coming up, I'm sure, in the next few days. Your time is tight. I would love to ask you about that and a lot of other things, Mr. Mayor, but I know that you're very, very busy doing the great work that you do for the citizenry of Savannah, Georgia. It's been an honor, sir. With me has been the mayor of Savannah, Georgia, the 67th mayor, by the way. Mayor Van Johnson, what an honor. Thank you so much, sir, for being here on the Politicrat podcast.
No, thank you. The honor is all mine. And please, if I could ever be on, I would love to do so and appreciate your hospitality.
Thank you very much, sir. And it would be great to have you back. Have a good day. Be safe there, sir. And to all of those in Savannah, Georgia, all the warm wishes and best wishes, too, for this brand new year. And you and your family, too, sir.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.